Hello and welcome to the Restart Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Rich Fournier. You know, if you've ever felt like you're capable of more than the life that you're currently living, you're not alone. See, your life can change faster than you think it can when you fully understand how your mind actually works. See, most people aren't stuck because of a lack of information. They're stuck because of the patterns and the unconscious beliefs that are running below the surface. On this podcast, we're going to break down the science of human performance so that you can rewire old patterns, eliminate the beliefs that are holding you back, and you can start creating the results you know that you're capable of. So let's dive in. Hello and welcome back. So excited to be back today with you, and some thoughts that have been running through my mind that I think are going to be impactful today. And the main thought is this: you are running software right now that you did not choose. It was installed before you were old enough to even consent to this, before you had the cognitive ability to evaluate what was installed in you, before you had an awareness that it was even happening at all. And that software, that invisible operating system running beneath every freaking decision you make, every behavior, every result that you produce, in every area of your life, is quietly determining the ceiling on everything that you are building in every aspect of your life. See, most people spend their entire lives optimizing the applications running on top of the operating system. Better apps, better business strategies, better tactics, better tools, better lead gen systems. And yet they wonder why, despite all of this optimization, the results stay fundamentally the same. And so today we're going to go beneath the applications. We're going to go to the operating system itself. And when you understand what's running there and how it got there, you will never look at your performance, your life, the same way ever again. Welcome back to Restart Your Life. So here we go. Let me ask you something. Have you ever made a decision to change? Like genuinely committed to do something different, and then found yourself weeks, months later, back to the old behavior? Maybe it was a sales activity you committed to, a morning practice, maybe a business development habit, a specific financial discipline, maybe a new relationship boundary even. You decided, you started, you had some momentum, and then somewhere along the way, quietly and almost invisibly, unconsciously, you drifted back. Not because you forgot, like you did not forget the thing that you said you were going to do. Not because you stopped caring, because you still care. The drift happened at a level beneath your conscious awareness. And here's the piece that most performance content never address. That drift was not random. It was not weakness. It wasn't a lack of discipline. It was your operating system, your subconscious programming, doing exactly what it was designed to do: maintain. Here is the neuroscience that changes everything. Scientists estimate that 95 to 97% of our daily behavior in everything is driven not by conscious thought, but by subconscious programming, automatic responses, conditioned patterns, habituated reactions. 95 to 90% of you is habitual. That means your conscious mind, the part that sets goals, makes decisions, listens to podcasts, attends seminars, is responsible for somewhere between 3 to 5% of your daily behavior. 3 to 5% is responsible for your results. Think about what that means. You can have the best strategy in the world, the clearest goals, the most sophisticated systems. And if the 95% running beneath the surface is misaligned with where you're trying to go, the future destination that you say you want to go to, the 5% is going to lose every single time. Not sometimes, every time. Your conscious goals are running on top of a subconscious operating system. And the operating system is going to always win. This is not a metaphor. This is neuroscience. And so the question becomes, how did the operating system get its current programming? Here's how it works. In your earliest years of life, roughly from conception through age 7, and we can talk about conception before, we can talk about conception, but today we're not going to. We're going to talk about through age 7, your brain operates predominantly in what neuroscientists call Theta Brainwave States. Now, I want to think of theta as a state of high receptivity, right? So when you're a kid, right, before age 7, your brain is operating predominantly in what neuroscientists call theta brainwaves. It's a state of deep learning, absorption, without any critical filtering, no conscious thinking. In theta, the brain takes in everything from its surrounding environment without analysis, without evaluation, and records everything as truth. The implication of this is huge. Every message you received about who you are, about what you deserve, what is possible for people like you, about money, about relationships, success, safety, worthiness, all of it was absorbed directly into the subconscious mind as programming. Not as opinion, as fact. Not as information to be evaluated, but as identity to be maintained for the rest of your life. Dr. Bruce Lipton, one of the leading voices in cellular biology and consciousness research, describes this period of life as the programming of the biocomputer. The subconscious mind is downloaded with the beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors of all the adults in the immediate environment. Before you have any conscious or had any conscious ability to assess whether those beliefs are useful, accurate, or true for you. And then we grow up. We develop a conscious mind. We acquire education skills, strategies. We develop ambitions. We want more. We pursue more. And we try to build something different from what we had experienced. But the operating system beneath the ambition remains largely unchanged. And so the internal conflict begins. The conscious goal says, I want to earn $1 million. That's what I really want. I want to do it. I want to perform. But the subconscious program says, people like us, we don't operate at that level. The conscious commitment says, I'm going to build this consistently. But the subconscious program says, you always find a way to not follow through. The conscious desire says, I want to play a bigger game in life. But the subconscious operating system says, who do you think you are? And so the operating system always wins. Not because you're weak, because it's faster, older, and more deeply embedded than any conscious intention. So let's make this tangible for you today. I work with high performers, but I actually work with people who want to perform, people who want to change their life, entrepreneurs and salespeople, even people that aren't in business. They just want to change something in their life. But entrepreneurs and salespeople and business people who, by every external measure, they're capable, intelligent, and driven. And almost universally, when we go beneath the surface, we find the same damn patterns. There is a belief, often pre-verbal, often never consciously articulated, that creates a performance cap in their life. Doesn't matter what area of their life, there's a performance cap. I'm talking about performance caps in your personal relationships and how you treat other people, right? What are the results that you're getting? There's a belief. And for some people, it sounds like, I'm not that kind of person who earns at that level. For other people, success that's significant means something will have to be sacrificed. For other people, I don't fully trust myself to maintain it. And for other people, again, people who make that much money are fundamentally different than me. So I'm not good enough. See, these aren't thoughts that walk around. They don't consciously think these things. They are operating as background responses, running constantly in the background, shaping every single decision, every action, every unconscious response that you make. See, no amount of business strategy is going to override that. And here's a pattern I see constantly. I see a high-performing entrepreneur, finally maybe building some momentum. Things are working. Maybe revenue starting to grow, and then seemingly without reason, they begin undermining the momentum. They stop making the calls. They procrastinate on the proposal. They over-deliver and undercharge. I see that all the time. And they get distracted by a new idea, right? Shiny ball syndrome. Right before a critical execution phase and the thing that they're operating in. From the outside, it's inconsistency. From the inside, they're confused about why they keep doing this thing. What's actually happening, right? What's actually happening is the subconscious operating system detected that results were approaching or exceeding its programmed ceiling, its thermostat. And then it activated automatic correction mechanisms to restore the familiar patterns. It's not a motivation problem. It's an operating system problem. And you cannot solve an operating system problem with a motivation solution. See, your limitations that you have today, they're not permanent, but they are programmed. And that distinction is everything. See, permanent means you're working against nature. It means the ceiling is real and fixed and there is nothing to be done. You're stuck permanently. But programmed means something very different. It means the limitation was installed by experience, by environment, by the messages absorbed in your earliest years. And what was installed can be uninstalled. What was programmed can be reprogrammed. This is not a motivational statement. It's neuroscience. See, the brain retains what is called neuroplasticity throughout life. The capacity to form new neural pathways and restructure existing ones based on new input, new repetition, and new emotional experience. See, your operating system can be updated. It's not locked. It's not fixed. But it's fixed if you don't change it, if you don't go after it. See, this update doesn't happen just through willpower. It doesn't happen through positive thinking. It doesn't happen through one seminar or one breakthrough moment in life. It happens through a structured, consistent, methodical work at the level of the subconscious mind. This is the work of identity transformation. And this is what this podcast is teaching. And this is the work we do inside the path to transformation. So between now and the next episode, here is your practice. I want you to sit quietly for 10 minutes. Take one area of your business or life where you have where you have a consistent recurring pattern of underperformance, not occasionally consistent. It's very similar to what we asked you to do in episode 1. And I want you to ask yourself, this question again. What would a person have to believe at the deepest of levels about themselves, about safety, about being deserving, about what's possible to produce this pattern of inconsistently, consistently? I want you to write down now. Write down whatever surfaces in your gut and your mind. Don't filter it. Do not judge it. You're beginning to look at your operating system. And seeing it clearly is the first step to changing it. If you're ready to do this work with structure, with a proven methodology, with accountability, and with a process that systematically rewires the operating system over 6 months, the path to transformation was built for you. Find out more at RestartYourLife.com. Book a discovery call and let's talk about your operating system and see what it's costing you. In the meantime, do the steps that I said today, and I will see you in episode 3.